Hey folks, Lucas from Roll to Hit Gaming, and today we're going to solo play Vivajava, the dice game. Hopefully you're familiar with this title. If not, I'll try to talk you through the turn and how it plays, so you should be able to follow along. Today we're representing the Caravan Company, and we'll keep our dice pool here. And our opponents are going to be the evil Sakar Incorporated, whose objective is to use up these flavor dice to sugar up their drinks and corner the market. So we're trying to stop that from happening. We're going to play on normal difficulty, which is your yellow circle. And what that means is on their turn, Sakar is going to be able to roll their normal 5 dice that everybody rolls each turn, plus the number indicated of flavor dice. So right now they've got 2. Their objective each turn is going to be to create a featured blend. And if they can't, they can create a rainbow blend. And unlike us, they can control both blends at the same time. We would have to surrender one to take the other. And at the beginning of a player's turn, either you or the dummy player, Sakar, you're going to check to see whether you control one of those blends. If you do, you're going to gain residual points, and we're going to gain the white point totals. The darker colored point totals are for the multiplayer game. Obviously, on your first turn, you're not going to control one of those, so you're going to start off by rolling 5 dice. You would add to that any flavor dice that you got through researching the black beans, and when you roll those dice, we'll go ahead and do that. In order to create a blend, we're going to need at least 2 matching colors. That's a decaf blend. Sakar will require a regular blend, which is at least 3 matching colors. So we've started off with 2 red, a green, a white, and a black. Now at this point, we have to decide, are we going to try to create a blend, or are we going to research? You can do one or the other. And if you research, you pick one of the sets of dice you have, and you tick off that many beans on your research track. When you reach the first larger bean section, that's going to give us a special ability that corresponds with this coaster. We can re-roll, we can flip dice, we can add extra black dice, we can gain research points when we make a blend, various things to mitigate your dice roll. At the second larger bean, you can do that thing twice. However, if you fill up that row, then you're going to score points equal to whatever's listed over here on our coaster. However, that means that ability is gone. You've scored the points for it. You can no longer use that ability. So you've got to be careful when you want to score that ability and when you want to keep it around to be able to continue to use that. I think we're going to go ahead and try to create a blend. And we've got 2 red, so that's going to allow us to create a red decaf. And then you fill out the rest with your best dice. And you just set those up there, and we'll go over why that's important in a minute. Now we've got that. We score 1 point, and this is going to be our score sheet, obviously, for creating a blend. And then for the Sakar Incorporated, I've just got my handy piece of white paper to keep track of their score. We did our blend. That wraps up our turn. So Sakar's going to roll 5 white dice plus 2 flavor dice. And it's kind of got a poker feel. You're trying to make a better hand, basically. The white's the weakest, the black's the strongest, and then the robustness is the number of light colors. So remember, Sakar has to have 3 to create a blend. They've got 2 black, 2 green, 2 yellow, and a brown. So they can't create a feature blend. Now, if they have 5 different colors, they can create the rainbow blend. They only have 4, so they can't do that at this time, so they're going to fail. So that's actually going to move their marker up 1. They'll roll more flavor dice next time. And when they fail, they also roll a die. And we've got a red. You place it right here, and that means that next turn we can't use red abilities or upgrade or do research on the red color. That ends their turn. Comes back to us. Now, at the beginning of our turn, we do control a blend, so we'll gain 2 points for that. And then the blend will degrade, so it's going to get weaker over time, so that kind of will force you out, so you can't just control that spot for the whole game. And now we have to decide whether we want to keep going with that blend, press our luck that we're going to continue to control it, or break up the blend, which means we would take only the dice on that coaster, roll them, and do our turn as normal. Sakar is going to roll 8 dice next time, and all they've got to do is best 2 reds to take over our blend. So I think we're going to go ahead and get out of that while we've got a decent number. We'll roll only these dice. And that's going to give us not a great result because we can't research red this turn because that's what we're blocking. So it wasn't a great call for us. We do only need two to make a decaf blend, so I think our best bet's just going to be to go right back in there. And because we had fewer than 5 dice, it's already going to start one down, which means it's going to degrade and be easier to take over faster. But we did create a blend, so that gives us a point. And we'll move to Sakar. They'll roll 5 dice plus 3 flavor dice. And let's group these up here. And remember, their primary goal is to create a featured blend, but they require at least 3 like symbols to do so. So they can't do that. However, they do have 5 different colors, so they're going to create a rainbow blend. And remember, they can hold both, while we can only hold one, and creating the blend is going to score them their first point. They were successful at creating a blend, so this will downgrade, and we don't roll to see what they're going to block for us this turn. So that's good. Back to the start of our turn. We control the featured, so we'll gain 2 points. And we're basically in the same position we were last time. So we're going to go ahead and break up the blend. Let's see what we can do. And that's not going to do us any favors. We have no mitigation yet. We only have 4 different colors, so we can't take the rainbow. So I think we're going to go ahead and research black, and that's going to give us one of these flavor dice to roll our next turn. We'll just set that there as a reminder. Starting off Sakar's turn, they still control the rainbow. That gives them a point. And they'll roll 5 dice. As you can see, the rainbow blend doesn't require you to put your dice, so it's just kind of a residual point gaining blend while you can still work to try to get the other blend. So they'll roll 5 dice plus 2 flavor dice and try to make a featured blend. And that was a green. So they do have the ability to do so. And when you have more than 5 dice, you just put your best 5 up there. So they're going to gain a point for creating a blend. They were successful, so we'll move this down and we'll move back to our turn. We have 5 dice plus a flavor dice this turn. And we'll give that a roll. And nice roll. This is the wild side of the flavor die, which means we can turn it to any side we like. We're going to do that. We're going to turn it to green, and that's going to give us 4 greens. And remember, over here, to take over a blend, your first check is the number of dice, right? So we have 4 green beating their 3 green. So we'll move these over. We will take over the featured blend with 4 green. Put those flavor dice back down there, and that will score us a point for creating a blend. Sakar still controls the rainbow, so that'll gain them their 4th point. And they'll roll their 5 dice plus 1 flavor dice this time, and they're trying to beat 4 green. And they have the biggest blend they can make is 3 browns. That's not going to beat our 4 green, so that means they're going to fail. So they're going to move up over here and then roll a die, and they're going to block green. We can't research green, and we can't use the green special abilities in our next turn. We control the feature blend, so that'll get us 2 points. It will degrade and become weaker, and now we have to decide whether we're going to try to hold on to that blend, press our luck, or we're going to break it up and see if we can do better. We have 4 green. That's a pretty good blend, so I think we're going to stay put. So that ends our turn. Moves us over to Sakar's turn, and they're going to roll 2 flavor dice this time. They do get a point for their rainbow blend, and they have 4 red, which matches our color. However, red is below green, so they're not going to overtake our flavor. So that's going to be another failure. And when they fail, they get to use more flavor dice the next turn, and they get to shut down one of our abilities, this time black, so that means we can't research black in order to gain favor dice in our next turn. We control the featured, so we'll get 2 points. It will degrade. And they've got to make 3 in order to make a blend, whereas we only need 2. And green's a pretty good color, so I'm just going to keep riding it and see if we can get more points out of it. So that'll end our turn. Their 5 dice plus 3 black. That was brown. They're going to get a point for their rainbow blend. And the best they've got are 3 brown, so that's not going to overtake us. Yet another failure for the evil Sakar Incorporated. So they'll move up and be rolling their maximum dice now, and we still can't get flavor dice. We'll gain 2 points for controlling the feature. And it will degrade. Now at this point, the dummy player would have to break up the blend. They would take those 2 dice plus 3 other and do their roll as normal. If we do it now, we're only going to be rolling 2 dice. So it's probably foolish, but I'm going to stay in this yet again and see if we can continue to hold on to it. So that'll end our turn. They're going to roll 9 dice now. And let's go ahead and give them their point, making 7 for their rainbow. And let's separate out what we've got here. This is wild, so we'll see where it's going to go in a moment. All right, so if we turn this black, so that's going to make this one a black. The black side counts as the wild side, so they're going to kick us out with 3 black, and then use our best dice to fill it out. They'll gain a point for creating a blend, putting them at 8. And they were successful, so they'll move down 1 here. So that's going to make us our turn. We get a full 5 dice. So they did overtake us, but we're rolling 5 dice, not 2, so that seems better. And let's see what we get. All right, so I think we're going to use ours to research this time, and that's going to give us 2 points of research in the green bean, and you just fill in the beans as you go along. We've reached the first, so that means we can activate the flavor shot ability, and since we have the 1 times, whenever we gain an amount of flavor dice, we would gain an extra flavor dice. If we fill it up to the 2 times, we would gain 2 extra flavor dice. Starting off their turn, they control both, so they're going to get 3 points. Putting them at 11. And then the featured blend will degrade. And they stay in it until they're down to 2. So it's going to bring us back to our turn. I think we're going to research black, and we're going to gain 2 flavor dice to use on our next roll. We'll do that. They'll gain 3 points for controlling both blends. The blend will degrade. They're still in it. Now we're going to roll 5 dice plus our 2 flavor dice and see if we can beat 3 black. And our first check is the number of the same color. And if we use our wild here, we actually have 5 yellow, so we're going to overtake the featured blend. And we'll score a point for creating a blend. The dummy player starts his turn off in control of the rainbow, so that's their 15th point. And they have 5 dice plus 3 flavor dice. And the best roll that they can make, including their wild, is going to be 3 brown, which is not going to overtake us, so that's going to be a failure. They'll move up. And they will shut down, once again, they will shut down our ability to get flavor dice. So we control the featured, so we'll gain 2 points, putting us at 16. It will degrade, and I'm going to stay in that. So a quick rules check on BGG, because there are only 3 flavor dice and they're supposed to roll 4 right now. We should have replaced these when creating a blend with regular dice, so we'll go ahead and do that now. And put our marker there as a reminder that we control that. And so that obviously keeps the flavor dice from getting used up. So they're going to roll 5 dice plus 4 flavor dice. And straight away, let's give them their point for their rainbow. And their best set is going to be their 3 red, which doesn't overtake our 4. So going to be another failure for them. We'll move our dice off. They can't go up any higher, and they're going to continue to shut down black for us. So, beginning of our turn, we control the featured. We're going to get 2 points. It will degrade, and I'm actually going to push my luck and stay in it because they seem to have a problem rolling more than 3 of a kind. So, we'll see if we can get lucky on that front. Moving on to their turn, they have the rainbow blend, so they'll gain a point. And then take 5 dice and 4 flavor dice. And see what they've got. So using their wild, they're going to get to 4 yellow there. So that will overtake us. So 1, 2, and then goes yellow. So we've lost control of that. Put that there. They get a point for creating a blend. And they were successful, so this will move down. So now it's up to us. We've got our 5 dice. We need 3 points. So let's see what we can get. We do have 2 green, and we've started down that research path, so let's just research green there. 2 more. And they'll gain 3 points. And that's going to put the dummy player at 21 points. 21 to 18, we've been defeated, and the evil Sakar Corporation has run us out of business. That, folks, is how you solo play Vivajava, the coffee game, the dice game, the game of colons. For Roll to Hit Gaming, I'm Lucas, and thanks for playing along.